Era changes may be here to stay.
We don't want to go back to normal. Normal was never good.
I'm Claudia Pescuto with the details.
These stories, next 15 minutes, 3:45 now. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Brought to you by Hint Water, Denise Fondo.
We've got an injury crash that is a SIG alert, Anaheim Hills. I know you don't want to hear that fast track lane out of commission right now with this one. Both lanes, 91 eastbound, came in as Gibson Canyon, but it looks like we've got a motorcycle in this one, and CHP says it's actually 91 eastbound just past Weir Canyon, where the fast track lanes are closed down with this one. Big delays on of course, the fast track as well as the main line on that 91 eastbound as you make your way through Anaheim Hills and even past the 241. You're still on the brakes there, so it's going to be one of those afternoons. A tough one for you. You can stick with the main line. You can also take Santa Ana Canyon Road. That's going to help you out there. We also have another SIG alert for the 91. This is on the 91 eastbound 605 north. That's where a big rig overturned today. And right now they're going to unload that big rig, which is back on its wheels. And once it's unloaded, they're going to be able to haul it out of there. It could take another couple of hours. And you do have a backup on that 91 eastbound as well as the 605 northbound. Compton, we've got some trouble there for your 710 drive. Let's check in with Brian Douglas, Jam Cam.
It's our northbound side right before you get to Rosecrans. I believe this crash has just cleared out of the left lane. I see a little improvement up front now. Still a horrible drive from the 405. Even before that, we'll just say the 710 is going to be slowed at downtown Long Beach. So expect delays on your northbound side, your southbound side here in Commerce at Atlantic Bandini. Crash reported. CHP says could be a stall. Left lane blocked. Heavy from the 60. Denise.
Mid-City LA and some pretty heavy traffic. We've got a new wreck on the 10 eastbound. It's past Robertson. And in Glendora on the 210 eastbound past Sunflower. New crash coming in there. Two-car wreck, right shoulder of the roadway. Hint is pure water. It's infused with surprisingly true fruit flavors, including watermelon, blackberry, and cherry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in your local grocery store or at hintwater.com. Hint Water with a touch of true fruit flavor. Next report, 3:55 with more traffic reports more often from the Toyota of Glendora.com Traffic Center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Average temperatures will continue for our inland spots today, while areas closer to the coast will be much cooler. Look for highs this afternoon in the mid-70s for LA and Orange County Metro, 60s at the beach, 90s in the valleys and Inland Empire, triple digits in the high desert, and low 80s in the mountains. Elevated fire weather conditions continue through Friday across the mountains, valleys, and deserts. At the beach, look for elevated surf of 3 to 6 feet with dangerous rip currents possible. Widespread cooling will take place this weekend and into early next week. With Southern California's most accurate and dependable forecasts, I'm CBS 2 meteorologist Alex Biston for KNX 1070 News Radio.
87 Chatsworth, 68 degrees for Long Beach, and Fullerton 75.
It's 3:47. It's a political battle to the finish in Israel. It's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu versus a coalition of 8 political parties out to get rid of him.
This new coalition government is hoping to show Netanyahu the door after he has served 12 years as prime minister. But he is a political animal and a political fighter, so he is mounting an aggressive counter-campaign.
He's trying to apply pressure on the right-wing flank of this new government in order to take away lawmakers and votes.
KNX In Depth spoke with political analyst Neri Zilber in Tel Aviv.
He's organizing demonstrations outside these people's homes. He's calling up their rabbis in order to get them to apply pressure.
Will the week ahead see the end of Netanyahu's long political career? Longtime observers in Israel say they wouldn't bet on it. Charles Feldman, KNX 1070, News Radio.
And you can listen to our full interview from Israel tonight when KNX In Depth airs at 8.
About a month ago, we told you about the opening of LA's largest community for housing the homeless. This week, we went back to learn what people think of it.
Better than being on the streets, I would say.
That's Samuel. He lives in North Hollywood at the village of just over 100 of those tiny homes built out at Alexandria Park. And he's talking with KNX about what it's like.
When I first got here, there was 20 people, and then now there's a lot more. There's a lock, but we don't have the key. They have the key.
And for safety reasons, several rules, a strict 10-at-night curfew, and if you're not back in time, you can't get back in until the morning.
They metal detect, and then they go through your backpack or whatever you have.
So if you leave and come back
outside.
You come back in, you get searched. Yeah. Can't bring tools. You can't even bring a screwdriver or anything in there. That's kind of annoying because, I like to work on stuff,
Councilmember Paul Krikorian reps North Hollywood.
There are rules, yes. We don't want those rules to be so strict that people decline the opportunity.
Do people here seem happy?
For the most part, yeah.
The goal is to give people a few months to stabilize their lives and hopefully make street living a distant memory. Craig Figner, KNX 1070 News Radio.
350, your money. Here's Joan Doniger.
When is a jump in same-store sales of nearly a quarter in May not good enough? When Wall Street expected better, so Costco didn't get a lot of love in post-market trading. All kinds of drama for AMC Entertainment stock. The theater chain announced it would be selling more shares to cut debt, but it warned buyers they could lose a lot of money. The shares fell 40%. Then they made it all back up, but fell again, ending the day 18% lower. Civil liberties groups want Amazon and its Ring doorbells to cut ties with police departments. A third of Amazon shareholders voted last week to ask Amazon to come up with a report to see if its surveillance gear prompts human rights violations. Ring now will require police to publicly request home security footage captured by its cameras. On Wall Street, worry about whether the May jobs report will mean less Federal Reserve support for the economy prompted losses of 0.1% to 1%. The Dow falling 23, the Nasdaq 142, the S&P 15. We check your money at 20 and 50 after each hour. I'm Bloomberg's Joan Doniger from the True Mortgage Money Desk, KNX 1070 News Radio.
A wedding tragedy in India, but the day didn't go to waste. Details 90 seconds away. It's 3:51.
At KNX, we know the streets and freeways of Southern California because we drive them every day.
Which means we know the routes like the back of our hands to get you around the problems.
It's got the 2 right lanes blocked by a 3-car pileup. You're going to want to exit off the freeway at Cahuenga.
Road-tested traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5s.
KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
There's a tradition of enjoying good cigars. At Famous Smoke, that tradition has been our family business for over 80 years, and we want you to be part of it. We have your favorites like Macanudo, Acid, Fuente, Monte Cristo. Over 1,000 brands guaranteed fresh and delivered at America's lowest price. Go to famous-smoke.com and use code 10OFF at checkout. That's 10OFF, and we'll take $10 off your $50 order. From big-name cigars to everyday smokes. Find them at Famous Smoke with code 10OFF, only at famous-smoke.com.
Hey, it's Mike Simpson here. Is improving your tap water on the to-do list? Well, with a LifeSource system, you can taste and feel the benefits with every drink, but also every meal, every shower, every load of laundry. This is a whole house system. You eliminate the need, the cost, the hassle of buying bottled water all the time. Just imagine clean, great tasting water from every faucet. With LifeSource, no filters to change, no salt, no maintenance. You install it, you forget about it. Talk about easy. With LifeSource, you get the chlorine, other chemicals out of the water. Those aren't great for your skin or your hair, so you get a filtered water shower. And no hard water problems, less time scrubbing residue and buildup off of faucets and appliances, and all for less than always buying the bottles. Get LifeSource direct from the factory. They provide customer service for the lifetime of your system, serving Southern Californians for over 36 years, products made in the USA. Call LifeSource for full service, full confidence in your water. It's 888-846-1945. 888-846-1945 and lifesourcewater.com. LifeSource Water. Taste and feel the difference.
Lots of problems on the roads to help with in 2 minutes, including a SIG alert and another crash on the 91 through Anaheim Hills. It's 3:53.
Under the category of if you pay for the wedding, you will have the wedding is this story out of India. During a ceremony, the bride collapsed and died of a heart attack. Family held an emergency meeting there and then decided the groom would marry the bride's sister. Bride's body moved to another room. Ceremony got going again. Groom's family received its promised dowry.
And as congressional leaders negotiate the president's infrastructure plan, Senator Alex Padilla.
Frontier Fiber Optic Internet for Business knows we've all got a job to do, and ours is helping you do yours. From online order to brick and mortar, our 100% fiber optic network is ready for work with blazing fast upload and download speeds and a 2-year price guarantee with no contract. All for just $55.99 per month plus tax and the routers included. Visit fiberopticbusiness.com for complete offer details. Frontier Fiber Optic for Business, how business gets to work. Limited time offer. Services subject to availability and all applicable terms and conditions.
And one.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Keith Jackson.
The very short-lived Spring Football League is coming back next year after 4 decades. The new United States Football League announcing it will play next spring with a minimum of 8 teams, which along with the cities, head coaches, and schedule won't be announced until later. The USFL will use the same logo it did back in the early 80s, which was red, white, and blue with stars and stripes. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Some pandemic-era changes for restaurants that you like are not going away in California. More at 4:03 after CBS News. It's 3:55.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s, brought to you by Grocery Outlet. Denise Fondo.
We've got an injury crash. That is a SIG alert for the 91 in Anaheim Hills, eastbound side past Weir Canyon. Motorcycle crash. Fast track lanes are blocked with this one. Big backup in the fast track as well as the main line. I'd stick to the main line or take Santana Canyon Road right now. Again, the fast track lanes blocked with an injury crash involving a motorcyclist. And ahead of that, on the main line, 91 eastbound past the 241, there's also a crash there. So it's just an awful, awful drive for that 91 eastbound as you head through Anaheim Hills. We also have a SIG alert 91 east, 605 north, overturned big rig. It's uprighted. Now it has to be unloaded before it can be hauled away. That could take another hour and a half or so. 91 eastbound and the 605 northbound. Still a very tough ride because of this SIG alert. Now let's check in with Brian. Looks like we've got a problem in Santa Monica. 10 Jam Cam.
It's going to be our eastbound side of the 10, where right at Cloverfield, getting reports of perhaps a stall in lanes. Looks like it might be on the westbound side, so heads up for that. Eastbound out of Santa Monica, you're at a jam, because up ahead, it looks like we have a motorcycle wreck at Robertson, barely affecting that left lane, but just enough to add more slowing to an already difficult drive from Santa Monica all the way through downtown. Slow on the eastbound side, even westbound from Western over to La Brea. You're slow there. Denise.
No new trouble for the 405. 405 southbound right at Slauson. We've got a crash reported. A couple of cars in the carpool lane. Your local grocery outlet has all the name brands you love at amazing low prices. And this week they are big on BOGO. So start your morning off right with Quaker Life cereal. 13-ounce varieties are buy one, get one free. Next report, 405 with more traffic reports more often from the Toyota of Glendora.com Traffic Center. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Temps pretty similar to what we had yesterday. A little bit of cooling tomorrow. Not too much change, though. Clouds then clearing, and then we do expect the temps to drop down over the weekend. 357.
Thinking about life insurance? Did you know in just a few minutes you can find the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies for free? You can with SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. We shop some of the most trusted life insurance companies to save you time and money. Within minutes, you can find the right price for you for free. Go to SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hey everyone, it's Laura for Proven Winners. Want to know the secret to my success? I start with Proven Winners because I know they'll grow beautifully every time. I count on them for all of my patio planters, garden beds, and my veggie garden too. You can find Proven Winners flowers, perennials, shrubs, and Proven Harvest plants at local garden centers and the Home Depot nationwide this spring. Their signature white container is easy to spot, and you'll know you're buying quality plants every time. Join me in planting Proven Winners this season.
Having your own home is awesome, but it's also a lot of work. The good news? Finding help for your projects is easier than ever. Introducing Angie, the app that puts all your home care needs at your fingertips. Need a pro to fix that emergency leak? Maybe find someone to build a deck, or even set your seasonal tasks on autopilot. Angie can handle all that and more. Expert pros, hundreds of home projects, clear pricing, and the easiest way to book and pay in seconds. This is Angie, your home for everything home. Download the app today.
Nearly 40% of American women experience thinning hair by age 40. Nutrafol is a new approach, a natural hair growth supplement with a patented blend of medical-grade ingredients. Nutrafol is clinically shown to improve hair growth by targeting root causes from within. 86% of women reported better hair growth after 6 months in a clinical study. Take charge of thinning hair at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. Statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease.
The news you need from the station you trust.
Live from the DuckDuckGo studios.
Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station.
KNX KRTH FM HD2 Los Angeles.
KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
An Odyssey station.
Coming up, you'll be able to keep ordering cocktails to go even after the pandemic.
Plus, Cal OSHA is getting a lot of public feedback about mask rules in the workplace.
These stories plus traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s. Coming up in 3 minutes after CBS covers the world, it's 4 o'clock.
Targeting hackers. The Department of Justice is boosting its investigations of ransomware.
F. Lee Bailey dies.
He really enjoyed being a defense lawyer.
President Biden's infrastructure price cut.
Big revisions to his proposal.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper in Chicago. A Justice Department memo obtained by CBS News directs federal prosecutors' offices to alert Washington as soon as they learn of new ransomware attacks. It comes after high-profile cases including a huge meat processing company and a gas pipeline operator. CBS's Nicole Scango with the U.S. response.
Cases of ransomware, malicious software designed to block access to a computer system in exchange for a sum of money, will be elevated to a similar level of priority as terrorist attacks. That's according to Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General John Carlin, and was first reported by Reuters.
A larger-than-life defense attorney has died. CBS's Steve Futterman remembers F. Lee Bailey.
At a key moment during the O.J. Simpson murder trial, with millions listening and watching, F. Lee Bailey asked L.A. Police Detective Mark Furman about the N-word.
When you say on your oath that you have not addressed any black person as a or spoken about black people as in the past 10 years, Detective Furman.
That's what I'm saying. Evidence later showed Furman did use the N-word. That helped the defense argue that Simpson was the victim of a setup. Bailey was involved in numerous other mega trials, including the Boston Strangler case and the bank robbery trial of newspaper heiress Patricia Hearst. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
Bailey was disbarred in 2 states in the early 2000s. CBS's Nancy Cordes on President Biden's negotiations with Senate Republicans on his massive infrastructure package.
Originally, it was $2.2 trillion, then it came down to $1.7 trillion, and in their meeting, he floated $1 trillion. So a big reduction for him when it comes to new spending, but the catch is it is still 4 times larger than the amount of new spending that Republicans want to do.
President Biden unveils his plans for distributing the first of 80 million COVID-19 vaccine doses worldwide. 75% will be given to a UN-backed vaccine sharing program. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
We want to save lives and thwart variants that place all of us at risk. But perhaps most important, this is just the right thing to do.
25% of vaccines will be kept in reserve for emergencies. Duke's basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski says the time is right to retire after next season.
Let's enjoy. And there's nothing sad about this. This is not sad. I'm happy. I'm excited.
On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 23 points. Now,
Right now, visit creditkarma.com/winmoney to open your free account and start winning instant karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules.
This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Karen Adams. Our top local story at 4:03. The state is extending the relaxing of rules for restaurants and bars to keep outdoor parklet dining areas and to-go cocktail sales with food orders going.
The pandemic-era exceptions will continue after California's economy fully reopens later this month.
We don't want to go back to normal. Normal was never good enough.
Governor Gavin Newsom says the parklets have been a big success.
I've not only saved restaurants and bars through this pandemic, kept people employed through this pandemic, but how it's revitalized neighborhoods in many respects, and about how it advanced the entrepreneurial spirit. And we want to keep that going.
Local leaders will get to make the call on outdoor dining areas on sidewalks and streets, but Newsom says he's been getting calls from mayors all over the state who want to keep them going. Los Angeles is considering making its alfresco outdoor dining program permanent. Claudia Pescuta, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Should people who work indoors in California be required to keep on wearing face masks? State agency that mandates workplace safety rules has a controversial decision to make. Live to KNX 1070's Craig Figner covering today's Cal OSHA mask meeting.
And right now, Mike, that meeting continues with public comment that will go on for at least a few more hours. Workers mixing with coworkers who aren't vaxxed or have unknown vax status. That is Cal OSHA's concern in this meeting. And they say unless certain that an entire indoor workforce is vaccinated, that they could require all workers to continue masking indoors. Now, we're hearing a lot of frustration during public comment.
This is all, it's just political. This just needs to stop. There's no proof that masks do anything. These masks have to fit properly. If you even have facial hair on your mask, they're useless. They don't do any good. It's over. In the state of emergency, you guys.
All right, one opinion from an employer. Of course, the CDC said today masks unnecessary if you're vaccinated. But here in California, Cal OSHA, they have the responsibility for workplace safety regulations. They've expressed concern about underreported workplace coronavirus outbreaks. And so after public comment on masking, which will go on for some time, they could make some type of formal decision for employers and employees to follow. Reporting live, Craig Figner, KNX 1070 News Radio.
You thinking about a vacation? Maybe taking off to Europe? Our travel editor has some tips to save money, talking with Peter Greenberg in just about 10 more minutes.
Visitors to a Huntington Beach reserve are basically destroying it. Details 2 minutes away after traffic. It's 4:05.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Denise Fondo.
We've got 2 sig alerts on the 91. I've got an improvement for the 91 in Anaheim Hills, eastbound side near Weir Canyon. We've got an injury crash involving a motorcycle. This is a sig alert in the fast track lanes. Now, you just got your right lane, your right lane back on the fast track. So the left lane is still closed. Right lane is open. Pretty bad backup on the fast track as well as the main line. In fact, that main line, last time I checked, was backed up from Kramer Glassell. So terrible drive for you there. And then 91 eastbound 605 north is closed. We had a big rig overturn today. So that's closed until that truck can now be unloaded. It is uprighted, so they are making progress on this one. But you do have delays on the 91 eastbound and the 605 north as you come up on that. We also have an injury crash on the 405 north at Wilshire. This is also a motorcycle crash with traffic slow out of Culver City. And we're going to get a check of the 405 in the San Fernando Valley from Scott Burt. He's in the Southern California Toyota dealers, Sky 5.
Certainly slow coming out of the Sepulveda Pass here, northbound 405. Expect on and off slowing up to about Nordoff, and expect some additional slowing leaving the 118 up toward the 5. Some problems on the 10 in Santa Monica, the Jam Cam with Brian.
Have a crash. This is going to be westbound at Lincoln. We've got the right lane blocked here. We've got injuries with this, so heads up. Slowing now starting at Cloverfield. If you're traveling eastbound, we've got a crash right about Overland. This is in the Center Divide area. It's just going to be slow on that East 10, of course, out of Santa Monica through downtown. Denise.
On the 55 northbound, transition to the 22 westbound in Orange. New problem reported there. Looks like we've got some debris in the roadway. Next report, 4:15 with more traffic reports more often from the Toyota of Glendora.com Traffic Center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
60s, 70s, 80s again today. Had the clouds and then sun. Persistent clouds, though, for the coastal areas. Tomorrow's about the same, maybe going down a few degrees, then more cooling for the weekend. 88 in Santa Clarita, 75 in Hollywood. Anaheim now, 75 degrees as well.
It's 4:08. The Bolsa Chica Ecological Reserve in Huntington Beach is being damaged by visitors violating the rules.
Ever since COVID, there has been a significant increase in people flocking to the area, using illegal trails, flying drones, riding bikes and horses, and bringing their dogs, which are prohibited, much of it happening after hours.
It's important that we educate and reach out to the community because this is significantly impacting the reserve.
Melissa Lobel is the reserve manager. She says they recently had 2 drones within 24 hours crash into one of their islands for seabirds called terns.
And it caused about 2,000 to 3,000 elegant terns to disperse and abandon their eggs that they were incubating.
And they did not return. She says they're also seeing more graffiti at the reserve. They are asking visitors to come, have fun, learn about nature, but follow the rules and regulations because it's important important. Margaret Carrero, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Rancho Palos Verdes will restart its peafowl trapping program again in certain parts of the city. Stopped the program more than a year ago. New report, though, found the population increased from 121 to 181. Mike Maxey, zoologist, traps birds for the city. He told the council people feeding the birds on their properties can lead to a lot more peafowl in the area.
When people are putting bags of seed in their backyard every day and supplying them with water, you're always going to have these artificially high populations.
City Council voted to limit the number of trapped birds to 50. The peafowl that are trapped get transferred to locations that want them.
The reward is now $450,000 to help find the person who shot and killed 6-year-old Aiden Leos on the 55 freeway. Could that money lead to an arrest? Psychology professor Arthur Lorigio from Loyola Chicago has researched this question.
As a psychologist and a social scientist, I can't state definitively that if there were no rewards put up, this case would not have been solved.
He tells KNX that evidence is just too hard to collect, so there's no answer. He does say rewards are symbols of community outrage over certain crimes and support for the victims, in this case, Leos's family. Now, the professor encourages more donations to the reward fund and says it's possible the money could motivate someone to come forward.
Historic Black Church in Venice could be added to the City of LA's Historic Cultural Monuments list. First Baptist Church of Venice, built in 1967, corner Westminster Avenue in Oakwood, which is one of the only areas near the ocean in LA where Black people were able to own homes due to restrictive housing covenants and redlining.
Helping with a couple of crashes when we check the roads again at 4:15. And our eye in the sky will be over 1 on the 405 in Westwood. And then the other SIG alert is on the 91 in Cerritos. It's 4:11.
I'm Zach, CEO and co-founder of Roman. Intimacy is about more than what happens in the bedroom. I hear this from our members every day. Erectile dysfunction treatment helps men feel more confident in the bedroom, but it also unlocks so much more outside of it. Roman makes it simple to connect with a healthcare professional online and find the treatment plan that's right for you. Go to GetRoman.com/talk to save $15 on your first month of ED treatment. Roman, let's take care of it.
Frontier Fiber Optic Internet for Business knows we've all got a job to do, and ours is helping you do yours. From online order to brick and mortar, our 100% fiber optic network is ready for work with blazing fast upload and download speeds and a 2-year price guarantee with no contract. All for just $55.99 per month plus tax and the routers included. Visit fiberopticbusiness.com for complete offer details. Frontier Fiber Optic for Business, how business gets to work. Limited time offer. Services subject to availability and all applicable terms and conditions.
Thinking about life insurance? Did you know in just a few minutes you can find the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies for free? You can with SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. We shop some of the most trusted life insurance companies to save you time and money. Within minutes, you can find the right price for you for free. Go to SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Hey everyone, it's Laura for Proven Winners. Want to know the secret to my success? I start with Proven Winners because I know they'll grow beautifully every time. I count on them for all of my patio planters, garden beds, and my veggie garden too. You can find Proven Winners flowers, perennials, shrubs, and Proven Harvest plants at local garden centers and Lowe's nationwide this spring. Their signature white container is easy to spot, and you'll know you're buying quality plants every time. Join me in planting Proven Winners this season.
There's a tradition of enjoying good cigars. At
Famous Smoke, that tradition has been our family business for over 80 years, and we want you to be part of it. We have your favorites like Macanudo, Acid, Fuente, Monte Cristo. Over 1,000 brands guaranteed fresh and delivered at America's lowest price. Go to famous-smoke.com and use code 10OFF at checkout. That's 10OFF, and we'll take $10 off your $50 order. From big name cigars to everyday smokes. Find them at Famous Smoke with code 10OFF, only at famous-smoke.com.
Having your own home is awesome, but it's also a lot of work. The good news? Finding help for your projects is easier than ever. Introducing Angie, the app that puts all your home care needs at your fingertips. Need a pro to fix that emergency leak? Maybe find someone to build a deck, or even set your seasonal tasks on autopilot. Angie can handle all that and more. Expert pros, hundreds of home projects, clear pricing, and the easiest way to book and pay in seconds. This is Angie, your home for everything home. Download the app today.
Nearly 40% of American women experience thinning hair by age 40. Nutrafol is a new approach, a natural hair growth supplement with a patented blend of medical-grade ingredients. Nutrafol is clinically shown to improve hair growth by targeting root causes from within. 86% of women reported better hair growth after 6 months in a clinical study. Take charge of thinning hair at Nutrafol.com. That's Nutrafol.com. Statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease.
Breaking news when it happens.
Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station.
KNX 1070 News Radio.
Depend on us.
414, I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Karen Adams. Coming up.
Beware of the online travel booking scam. Some lawmakers want to make sure you don't get ripped off. We'll talk travel in just a couple minutes.
Some restaurant changes that came with COVID will be outliving the pandemic.
415 now. Traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s. Denise Fondo.
Got a couple of sig alerts for the 91. Terrible drive this afternoon. 91 eastbound, 605 north. That's out of commission because a big rig overturned today. It's back on its wheels. Well, what's left of the wheels. And a tow truck's going to be there soon. The big rig tow on its way. However, folks are still unloading that big rig before it can be hauled away. So it is still closed, the transition, and you do have slow traffic on the 91 eastbound and the 605 north coming up on that one. Now let's head to Anaheim Hills and bring in Brian Douglas. 2 sig alerts for Anaheim Hills on the 91. Brian, nobody wants to hear that on a Thursday afternoon.
It pains me just to tell you about. It's really a horrible drive to begin with. So 2 sig alerts. First one past Weir, just a little bit past Weir. Motorcycle wreck. You've got the left lane of the fast track still shut down here. Up ahead past the 241, another crash. This will be the second lane of the main line from the left. It looks like they're trying to clear that to the right. So as you can imagine, your main line jammed before Imperial on that fast track. It's at a crawl all the way back to the 55. Let's get an update on the problem in Westwood. This affects your drive on the 405 with Scott, the Southern California Toyota dealer, Sky 5.
405 northbound, right at Wilshire Boulevard, wreck with a motorcyclist, everything in the center divider, but definitely an attention getter. It's going to be heavy back toward the 10, but it'll continue slow through the Sepulveda Pass into the San Fernando Valley southbound, slowing right around Santa Monica Boulevard into Culver City. Denise.
You got some big delays on Malibu Canyon. It looks like we've got a Malibu Canyon north of the tunnel crash. 3 cars in this one. LA County Fire Department on scene, and I see that the northbound side of Malibu Canyon is really backed up. There is some slowing on the southbound side, too. Next report, 425, with more traffic reports more often from the Toyota of Glendora.com Traffic Center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Set to continue this kind of weather pattern we're in into tomorrow, so the clouds, then the sun, beach is not clearing as much. Temps pretty similar, maybe a little bit cooler for Friday.